Dominic Noble is joining us tonight to help out with what's wrong with you. You can check him out on YouTube. So he has a show called Lost in Adaptation, plus very many other things. But before we get kicked off, we're not talking about Dominic real fast. We'll talk about someone else. And we're having a link. If you are watching the stream live, I'm going to put it in the chat. Shut up. I'm going to put it in the chat. And if you are watching it on YouTube later recorded, I'm going to put a link to it. Our friend and colleague and person, Luke over at rock.net, you just saw him on the show last week, got a surprise from his insurance company. They have decided they're not going to be covering his asthma treatments as much anymore. So that's stupid.
Yeah, that's glorious.
I mean, you come from a place you come from a civilized part of the world where they don't do that.
That's almost the rest of the first world.
Yes, it is. It's pretty much everyone who's not us. In any event, Luke he's got a wedding coming up too. This is a very bad, unexpected expense. If you would be so kind, I'm going to post a link here. If you could help him out. You just helped us out here with the funeral and all that stuff. So anything you can do, and remember, not just if you can't contribute, don't feel like you have to put yourself out financially, but even just sharing the link on social media helps out quite a bit. So
yeah, just Luke's done with his live stream fundraiser, but the donate button on his Twitch page is still live. That's absolutely, if you guys looking to help him out, he's a really good dude. Just got hit in the face with a bunch of unexpected medical bills, which is always a kick in the teeth. So yeah, if you guys have got some spare cash kicking about, I'm sure it'll be deeply appreciated.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, now that we've gotten the nice things out of the way, everything's terrible otherwise. All right, let's see here.
I promised myself I'd be prepared this time. It's always a lie, but...
Let's see, where are we starting here? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get the intro going. Each week, Catherine and the Radio Dead audience go out on the worldwide interwebs, find all sorts of horrible things to bring back here. Little thing we like to call, what the fuck's wrong with you? And we're going to start, I think, this actually, is this from the UK? Yeah, Scotland Yard and all that stuff. We're going to start off with the UK here. This one is kind of amazing. You rarely ever see consequences for people who just straight up are horrible pieces of shit, And I'm not talking like, I'm not talking like the great, huge things, just like the everyday bullshit.
Yeah.
This is kind of legendary. Imagine pulling off a giant fucking heist, and yet you get tripped up by your own crapulence. How a dick pic helped detectives crack a $30 million Celebrity Diamond heist.
Hey.
Scotland Yard.
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
Say what?
I wasn't ready. I lied. It turns out every time.
Yep. Scotland Yard busted the gang behind the biggest home invasion robbery in English legal history after one of the thieves couldn't resist sending a dick pic to a member of the staff at a budget hotel. The saga began with a luxury lifestyle Instagram post just before Christmas in 2019. Tamara Eccleston, the model heiress, daughter of diminutive ex-Formula One boss Bernie Eccleston, announced that she and her family were jetting off to Lapland for the holidays with a picture of her daughter. On the night they left, a gang of thieves broke into the family home, located on a street referred to as Billionaires Row. They were able to swipe around $30 million in cash, watches, and diamonds for the property. So, all right, you've made off with some wealth redistribution here. Okay, sure, fine, $30 million. But they caught a bunch of them got together, caught a cab, and the taxi driver remembers taking them to a hotel. But from there, they were kind of lost until, Detective Constable Thomas Grimshaw visited the hotel on January 2020 and asked the receptionist if she remembered a group of young men staying there in mid-December. Chances of remembering particular guests were low, but she told the detective there was one group of potential suspects she remembered very clearly. One of the group had sent her colleague a string of lewd messages on the hotel's out-of-hours iPhone. The hotel iPhone. One of which was a dick pic. Staff at the hotel even saved the man's number as weirdo.
Oh, hey, wait, he sent it from his personal phone?
Yes.
That he kept?
Yes.
After the robbery?
Yes.
And he sent to this phone that he presumably must know is going to be passed to the next person when her shift is done.
Oh, yes.
For someone who pulled off a $30 million diamond heist, that's an incredible level of stupid. Like, the Venn diagram of smart enough for this, but dumb enough for that. Got to be such a narrow margin in the middle there.
And also, let this be a lesson to anyone who decides they're going to send an unsolicited dick pic to someone. This is how people react to it when you're not there. Everyone knows about you. They call you a weirdo. You embed yourself so negatively in their mind that the minute there's a chance to a reckoning, they'll be like, oh yeah, fuck him.
Yep.
It's not like, oh man, I just really wanted to see my... No one wants to see your penis.
Man, his cohorts must be so pissed in jail right now.
Oh God, yes.
He better hope they have separate cells, because otherwise they are going to beat the piss out of that idiot.
Hey, Steve, you maybe you want to send a dick pic to the guard, you fucker.
He literally, well, figuratively screwed them with his dick.
As just $30 million, and you fuck it all up because hey, baby, you want to see my penis? No.
Couldn't keep your phone out of your pants.
I mean, I love that it's not the fact the penis wasn't the memorable part. It was his just being an asshole. So the thing
that really upsets me though is that poor woman has got to go to the police station and look at a lineup of the one thing she's going to remember about him.
That's the one.
The dick. Send that dick to jail.
Moving on to Florida, because of course we're always moving on to Florida. I love headlines like this. I love sharing them with folks, like when they come on the show like this, because they are goddamn inexplicable. Come on, Discord. All right, there you go. This is in Florida. Woman armed with pitchfork and whip tries to sell teddy bears outside Publix. I dare you to make less sense.
AI is writing reality right now. A poorly programmed AI.
Yep. It's like the fucking DALL-E, only reality. Claremont, Florida, a Central Florida woman is accused of running around outside a Publix store with a pitchfork and a black whip while trying to sell teddy bears. Arrested Tuesday afternoon. Incident happened shortly after 2 p.m. According to the arrest report, a trooper saw a woman, later identified as Lisa Ann Sloan, 56, Ocoee, yelling and waving the pitchfork and whip outside the grocery store's main entrance, and handcuffed her after she refused to stop. Trooper spoke with the store manager and said Sloan was reportedly trying to sell teddy bears behind the store, and at some point she started to run around with the pitchfork and the whip and stabbed a man's minivan, causing damage.
Okay, see, I was desperately trying to find out what marketing technique she thought this was. Okay, so we got the pitchfork, got my whip, sell teddy bears. Okay, so it sounds like she just finished selling the teddy bears and then went on a rampage, which is actually kind of a relief. Like I said, I didn't want to be like, what possibly? I just could not connect that A to B in my head.
Trooper said the woman appeared to be, quote, highly intoxicated on some kind of stimulant drug, which is a very polite way of saying meth.
She got that meth look too.
Well, just yeah, because she, yeah. Don't, folks. Drugs are not a bad thing. There are quite a few drugs that are perfectly okay. Meth is not one of them. The old drugs still work. You don't need stop. We have so many problems when people keep like, you know what? Cocaine's okay, but I'd really like that and my teeth to fall out.
But where did she get these 3 items? Because there's no one store that sells all 3 of them. You know?
Let's hope not.
Around. Yeah. There's no BDSM/pharma store.
I mean, Amazon, but
Actually, yeah, fair. But like, also, like, whose bear was this? Was this multiple teddy bears? So, like, did this woman pull off a teddy bear heist and was like, "I got to move this product. Might be dangerous, but I bring my whip and pitchfork with me." I mean, I guess the pitchfork is in case Frankenstein turns up.
Yeah, the cutthroat world of hot teddy bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you gotta move those Pooh Bears somehow.
I think AMC is making a show about that soon. Yeah. Fuck, you won the 3-item game. Oh, do you know the 3-item game? In fact, I think the 3-item game is extinct now because of COVID. But you never heard of this? We've talked about it here before. The 3-item game is we used to have in America. We used to have 24-hour stores. You can go to a 24-hour Walmart. We don't have those anymore. But you could go to Walmart at 1 a.m, and the idea was you pick 3 things to bring to the cashier that would just be the most inexplicable, trying to put together in their head what they're going to do with it. Like, you know, a kiddie pool, economy size thing of Vaseline, and, you know, like a toaster or some shit.
Yeah, like a night lamp and a box of condoms or something.
Yeah, right. So but now we don't have cashiers anymore because we have the automatic ones, and we don't have all 3. I think we ruined it. I think that the What 3 Things game kind of ruined.
You have to find some really weird things to freak out the self-service checkout. You're like, what the fuck? Are you okay, dude?
You have strange things in the bagging area. Okay, there's more Florida. And more fun with 911. What the fuck? Come on, bring it up. Come on, there you go, Discord. I'm gonna move this around so I can access it easier. Florida man 37 arrested after calling 911 about Sour Patch Kids candy. And he's not happy to be there. Good Lord. That is a large, angry man. A heavily intoxicated Florida man was arrested Saturday night for calling 911 to report that his girlfriend, quote, wished to eat Sour Patch Kids. Arrest affidavit does not reveal why Joshua Larson, 37, allegedly phoned the police emergency number at 11:45 with the candy dispatch. When asked about the call by a sheriff's deputy, Larson, quote, smiled and walked away from cops outside his residence. Seen above, Larson allegedly struggled with deputies as they sought to place him in handcuffs. An electronic control weapon was used, the taser, to take Larson into custody. Why? Why? What the fuck?
I mean, it's weird, but I'm not sure it's taser worthy.
I'm pretty.
I mean, I guess it's nice to know they do this to white guys too, but
I'm pretty sure he got unruly, uncooperative,
smiling and walking away. By the sounds of things, that's pretty unruly.
The phrase "get your hands off of me" is often invoked in moments like this. Sometimes lesserly, do you know who I am? That comes in there sometimes too. First they're sour, then they're jailed. Yes, lady bitch.
Yeah, no, I am struggling to see what possible offense these poor sweet Sour Patch Kids had formed to offend this man so much for he wants to get the fuzz involved.
Who the fuck is calling that? Like, do you have no friends to call about your shit?
Oh, do you think that's it's just like, oh man, do you believe this shit?
Yeah, I mean, like, even I've got some of you, if I really need to be like, holy fuck, guys. I mean, I hop on Twitter and be like, yeah, what the fuck? I'm not calling the cops. I don't think they're going to be the most sympathetic ear.
But they responded. Dispatch went and sent those boys in blue round there to see what's going on with this fight. This 611 or whatever code Sour Patch Kid has on their radio system.
The poor lady running 911 does not need my shit. She's got people are on fire and heart attacks and did not need my shit.
I mean, I've had to call 911 in the past. Like, I found some guy passed out in the street a couple of months ago, and to call 911 and say, like, hey, there's a guy unconscious. Those operators don't have time for any shit.
No.
Like, if I'd called them and said Sour Patch Kids, I would have gotten profanity. They are overworked, underpaid, and lives depend on them. I'm just not entirely sure how we got from Sour Patch Kids to they'll be there in 10 minutes, and also they'll tase you. Oh, wait, actually, maybe that does make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. You've pissed off the wrong operator today, mate.
We've got more Florida. Good God, we got a lot of Florida this week. Have you ever actually been to Florida?
I have not.
Good. I'm hoping I'm warning you off of ever...
Well, my theme park obsessed friends keep threatening to organize a trip there for the Disney World.
Don't let them.
Yeah, I've been resisting until now.
Man accused of stealing vehicle, driving to Space Force base to, quote, warn the government. Brevard County Sheriff's Office has said a man was arrested Friday, Corey Johnson, 29, from McCalla, told deputies he'd taken a Ford F-150 without the owner's permission 3 days before driving to Patrick Space Force Base. According to deputies, Johnson said he didn't know who owned the vehicle. On investigation, what?
I'm just like, please let it be aliens that he was trying to warn them about. Please let it be aliens.
Brevard County deputies say Johnson tried to get on the base and claimed to be warning the government about a fight between Chinese dragons and U.S. aliens.
Okay, I did not see the Chinese dragons coming, but the aliens, I was like, okay, he's going to Space Force. It's gotta be aliens.
Johnson told deputies he was sent by the president of the U.S. to give the warning, and that in his mind, he heard the president tell him to steal the vehicle. Look, I can tell you straight up now, Joe Biden has so little spine, he wouldn't tell you how to steal a fucking jujube, much less a car.
I'm just envisioning this, like, U.S. president, if you build it, he will come situation where he's just walking along and it's just like, what's that, Joe Biden? If you steal it, you can stop the aliens fighting the dragons. Like, also, like, did he want Space Force to, like, break it up? Was that the idea? It's like, whoa, easy chaps, easy gents. Hey, no, the aliens aren't worth it, dragon.
And that's why we have Space Force, of course, to mediate conflicts between the mythical creatures and the sci-fi creatures.
Honestly, what else are these fuckers doing?
That's true. Right, yeah, I mean...
Oh, did he think Space Force hadn't noticed? I feel like that's the kind of thing that most people would see if it was happening.
Yeah, I mean, with as little as they've got going on, if there were Chinese dragons and aliens about to fight, I think they'd be ready for that. If nothing else, just to watch. Because, like, what else the fuck are they going to do?
See, what he should have done is call the YouTubers, because that is content.
Mm.
We would have rushed to that scene.
Oh, yeah. We would be TikToking the shit out of it.
You know they'd be adding filters, though. That's the fucking thing, is like the fucking aliens would be like, why is my face so smooth?
Here's what the alien would look like as a baby. Oh, more. Jesus, I did not realize how many Florida stories were this week. Good Christ, it's like more than half. Okay. Quite often on the show, we have stories where just you're living your life and shit intercedes that you could not have, just nothing you could have anticipated. You get up one morning, you get your cereal, grab the paper. Do people actually grab the paper anymore? I don't know. You sit down with your tablet or whatever, and then all of a sudden, a fucking flaming Lamborghini lands on your roof
That's a Lamborghini?
A Lamborghini SUV, which is a thing I did not know existed until now.
Well, yeah, I think I saw like a Ferrari FUV or something ridiculous. It's like, hey, let's take a brand that we associate with like sleek sports cars and make a really fugly-esque looking thing out of it using it, you know?
It's for those middle-aged men who really want a sports car, but they've got to take the kids to soccer practice.
Yeah,
so
their wives won't allow it. So this is the compromise. Freakishly expensive SUV.
Fire officials in Fort Lauderdale arrived on a wild scene over the weekend. According to Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue, crews were called to the 1100 block of Northwest 7th Avenue. A Lamborghini SUV landed on the roof of a house, slid off, and then erupted into flames. The occupants of the Lamborghini left the scene before the first responders got there. The driver of a second vehicle involved in the crash suffered minor injuries. No one in the house was injured. And the pictures are amazing. Just, you gotta appreciate that shit.
So did I zone out for a second when they were explaining how this thing fell from the sky?
I think it was involved in a crash and just it got airborne.
But there was no one in it.
Well, there probably was, but by the time they landed, they went, nope.
What, pulled the parachute? I mean,
if they're still alive, I'm amazed.
Oh yeah, look, they left the scene with only minor injuries, but they fled the scene.
Yeah, they fucked off. Because how are you, like, for fuck's sake, you can't explain this shit to your insurance. Just pretend like you never owned the car.
I explain that shit to anyone. It's like, yeah, my car fell from the sky. God got involved.
I think when you defy gravity that much, you can kind of make the argument it was an act of God.
I think this is an argument that the entirety of the Earth is just one kid's Hot Wheels play area. Like,
just
I do like the quote there. During a firefighter's career, there are certain calls that will never be forgotten. Well, today was one of those days. I can, like, the person sitting next to him who was listening to Sour Patch Kids is going to be so jealous. Like, oh, you're getting flying cars. I got Sour Patch Kids. Jeffrey got Aliens versus Dragons, so like I definitely lost today's pool.
I could not. Just one morning, I would, like, a while back, we had a tree fall down and like almost land on my truck. If Sarah's car had been here, she was working, it would have been destroyed, but she wasn't there. It just crashed in our driveway. And that was like, it was a big tree and it came down and made a big ass noise. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, I didn't like jump. Wasn't like startled. I'm just like, Grace, now what? I can only imagine if something like that happened. My response would be, oh God, now what?
Yep. It's also, it said that it landed on the roof, slid off, and then caught fire. So the visual imagery of that is crash, shlum, oomph. It's like a cartoon show. The Lamborghini's having the worst day of everyone. It's just like, well, this couldn't get any worse. And I'm on fire. It
has to wait a comedically appropriate amount of time. It's got to take a good beat, then explode into flames.
Like Homer Simpson with a cereal gif.
Yes.
Oomph. Yeah.
Last one tonight is, this would freak me the fuck out. And this is probably not a good way to keep from being noticed. Like, this is the exact opposite of clandestine. You have to appreciate just how much they fucked this up. From Australia. Eerie glow in sky confuses Australian town and outs cannabis farm. Look at that fucking picture. A pink glow lit up the evening sky above an Australian town on Wednesday. Local woman Tammy Suzmowski wondered if the apocalypse had arrived.
I mean, those Aussies take pride seriously. They light up the sky.
I was just being a cool, calm mom telling the kids there's nothing to worry about, but in my head, I'm like, what the hell is that? Turned out to be a light emanating from a cannabis farm just outside the town of Mildura. But like other stunned locals, mine initially went elsewhere. Was it an alien invasion? An asteroid? The most common, let's see, the reddish tinged lights are used to help the crops grow. Usually, blackout blinds come down at dusk. On Wednesday, they didn't work. So, because it was a cloudy night, the lights created a, quote, sunset on steroids that could be spotted for almost an hour from the facility.
Well, this wasn't like a marketing scheme. This wasn't an intentional
Nope.
laser up into the heavens.
Because it's still not legal.
Oh, wow. So these guys were fully broadcasting their presence to everyone on Earth. Weed growing here.
Well, if I saw that, the first... have you seen the Chernobyl miniseries? The one that was on HBO? Okay. One of the things that happened was because the top of the reactor blew off and it shot this giant beam of light into the night sky, just blasting radiation everywhere. And if I saw that, my sphincter would just... I would fucking... I mean, no.
I think seeing a light shooting into the sky divides the people who have seen that show and they haven't, because the first half are running the fuck away. The other one's just like, oh, that's pretty. I love that this article has transcribed the conversation this local family had. And it's the most Australian thing I've ever read. It's like, well, you better finish your tea, mate. The world's ending. It's like, well, what's the point of eating my tea if the world's going to end? Hey, what's that, an alien invasion, Ashot? Oh, no, I'm just eating my tea. I'm having my Fosters.
There are going to be Australians watching this so mad at you right now.
This is what it feels like for me, hearing Americans do impressions of my accent. So it's my turn to dish out the rage to another group.
If you are growing clandestine weed, you literally have one job.
Yeah.
And like the weather made this the worst of all possible fucking nights to do this. This was
they sent up the weed signal. Right. Weed man's like, I'm needed.
The Blunt Man and Chronic just leapt out of the pages of the comic books. Now, this is a perfect storm of weird shit to happen at once. It amazes me that this perfect confluence of oh shit.
I think, if anything, this is a literal sign from the heavens that they should legalize weed. Not doing so is causing the apocalypse over there.
Apparently.
People are running in fear because weed isn't legalized.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the first thing... Well, all right, I want to say the first thing we learned tonight, but someone apparently has been watching the show and realizes the first thing that I talk about when I'm doing the wrap-up is actually the last story. I do them in reverse order. So, just for you... You
nitpicking motherfucker.
Yeah. First thing we learned this week, your dick pic will quite possibly get you in more trouble than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I'm glad that we finally have something to point to besides it's a massive dick move,
right?
If you'll excuse the pun. Yeah, you're a bad person if you send unsolicited dick pics, but now we can point to this and say you will go to jail. All your plans will be ruined by you doing this. So if you need a reason besides being a decent human being to not send unsolicited dick pics, it's right here, baby.
Because they will hate you so much, you are unforgettable.
They will hate you so much. 6 years later? 6 months later?
Yeah.
They will remember that you did that to them, and they will help you go to jail. Like, you will never have goodwill from anyone.
We've learned that teddy bears and meth do not mix.
I mean, meth and most things don't mix.
It doesn't go well on a cocktail.
Pitchforks, whips, and teddy bears, also not a winning combination.
We've learned that do not bother the fucking 911 operators because they have no patience for your shit.
And they have access to men who will tase you.
We've learned that Space Force's job is apparently more exciting than we anticipated.
Yep. And Joe Biden can whisper in your ear. He's got the technology.
I wish I could do a Biden impersonation right now.
I know, because I was trying to think of one. I was like, what the fuck does that guy sound like? And I'm like, He's like the first person we've had in a while that I can't do an instant, an impression of.
Yeah.
Does he sound like he's old?
You learn that someday.
Anyway, I still better than the alternative. That's the thing I say. I keep reminding myself about that guy.
We learned some days a fucking Lamborghini can land on your roof. You never know.
Why not?
That's life. And finally, we've learned that if you're trying to hide weed from the entire world, maybe make sure your equipment will actually shutter the lights before you announce your existence to everyone.
Or it makes it like you're summoning Zool.
Jesus, it does, man. That is amazing. That picture is that is. I can't believe someone didn't do that shit deliberately. Just looking at that.
We've actually seen the moment where these guys realized it and tried to cover it up because the giant hand puppets that would then appear in the heavens and someone going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, I think when you see the sirens coming, you just give up and it's a bird. This is Sky, dinosaur. Leave these men alone. They're just trying to get high.